Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to take a head-to-head comparison look with the 2022 BMW M8 Competition Gran Coupe and the Mercedes Benz AMG E63S. Both of these are very highly performance-oriented Gran Coupes or sedans. They each have a coupe model as well, but being the stretched out version, they are a little more practical, still retaining all of that performance. The BMW M8 Competition has a list price right around $152,000 for the model in today's video, and the Mercedes-Benz was closer to $132,000. Now the M8 Competition was highly spec'd, so obviously these could be spec'd very similar in price. So today we're going to take a look at all the engine specs, the exterior, the interior, get these out on the road, see how they drive, and then we'll come back for our final thoughts on which one is better and why. We're going to start off with the M8 Competition. Underneath the hood is a 4.4 liter twin power turbo engine paired to the 8-speed Steptronic transmission. It pumps out 617 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. That's paired with the X-Drive all-wheel drive system. It weighs in right around 4,400 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in around 3 seconds, up to its top speed of 155 miles an hour, and it has a fuel capacity of 20.1 gallons, and the fuel economy is going to be around 15 miles per gallon in the city and 21 out on the highway. As we move over to the AMG now, this has a 4-liter bi-turbo V8 paired to the 9-speed automatic transmission, pumps out 603 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque. That's paired with the 4MATIC all-wheel drive system. It weighs in right around 4,500 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in just under 3 seconds, up to its top speed of 180 miles an hour, and it has a fuel capacity of 21.1 gallons. You'll expect to see around 16 miles per gallon in the city and 21 out on the highway. As we move on to the exterior now for the BMW M8, this has a really nice and distinctive front end design with the kidney grille that is very narrow and long, filling in the space between the LED headlights very nicely. This model has the forward-facing camera and plenty of cutouts in that grille to provide maximum airflow to this engine. Like I said, it does have LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals, which have a really nice design. The housing is very sleek too, so it matches well with the grille. And this model has a lot of carbon fiber. You can see those trim pieces on both sides, which also have the forward-facing sensors. There's also a forward sensor in the lower section of the bumper as part of all the adaptive cruise and that technology. Over on the AMG, this does have LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals. The headlight housing is a little bit more bubble-shaped compared to the BMW, but it has a great design. The forward-facing sensor is also part of the adaptive cruise and all of that technology, so it's nice how it's incorporated into that badge itself, and it's not separate like over on the M8. There's carbon fiber in the lower section. Really nice lines come down the hood as well, a little bit more distinctive than over on the M8. And then moving to the side profile now for this M8 Competition, this has a really nice set of 20-inch wheels. They're 9.5 inches wide up front and 10.5 inches in the rear. And this model has the M Sport brakes. This has 6 pistons up front and single pistons in the rear. You can see more carbon fiber on the trim piece just behind the wheels. This even has carbon fiber on the mirror caps, integrated turn signal, as well as a camera. And the M8 Competition even comes with a carbon fiber roof, which is really nice to see. There's black trim surrounding the windows just to tie it in nicely with this dark green color. And it has a really nice sporty design. Being the Gran Coupe, it's stretched of course compared to the coupe, but it blends in nicely and gives it a really proportional look. As we move over to the AMG now, this has a really nice set of 20-inch wheels. They're 9 inches wide in the front, 10 inches wide in the rear, and this model even has the optional carbon ceramic brakes, which I don't believe are available on the M8. This retains 6 pistons up front and single pistons in the rear, so very similar. There's a carbon fiber trim piece just behind the wheel, just like on the M8, and chrome surrounds the window trim, which actually works nicely with this matte paint job. This has a full panoramic sunroof, which is finished off in gloss black just to tie it in with the wheel color as well. And there are nice lines running down the side. And then working our way to the rear end of the M8 Competition, more carbon fiber is on the trunk lip spoiler. Gives it a really cool sporty look. This has the backup camera, LED taillights, all of the parking sensors as well. And really nice lines in the back. The lower diffuser also has some carbon fiber and gloss black. It surrounds the quad tip dual exhaust. And over on the Mercedes, this has a body colored trunk lip spoiler. There's some more chrome running throughout the trunk. This has a backup camera, LED taillights, all of the parking sensors, and we have a similar style to that quad tip dual exhaust with even more carbon fiber and gloss black trim. And then moving on to the cargo area now, we have the power trunk for the M8. There is a lot of space in the back with those back seats up, really nice flat surface. There's some battery components and a little bit of storage if you need to utilize it. And with the back seats folded down, you just pull on 2 tabs. It provides you with a lot more interior space. Being the Gran Coupe, that's what it's designed for, having that practicality and being able to use all of that space. And with the power trunk, you can push on a few buttons and it will automatically close. And then over on the AMG, we have the power trunk as well. You can easily open that up. Similar amount of storage space with the back seats up. There's a little bit of an indentation right in the middle of the trunk, but you can work past that and still put in a lot of items. This even has a hook where you can place bags so they won't roll around, which is really nice. And this model even has some storage up underneath the floor, as well as this collapsible bucket. You can use this to put in any items that you may have, even hook them to that hook so it won't slide around. And just like the M8, the back seats do fold down, providing you with a lot more interior storage. There's really no overhangs in either model. And then moving on to the back seats now, this particular M8 has a really nice color combo with this white interior. There's brushed aluminum on the door, and it just gives it a really nice upscale look. And then as far as being able to fit into the back seats, I am 5'10", and I had plenty of room in the back for my feet and my legs and a little bit of space above my head. Even with this Gran Coupe design, the roofline is still pretty tall, so it doesn't hinder any headroom. You could be a little bit taller than me and still fit in the back comfortably. I will say though, the only drawback for this M8 is the fact that we have all the climate controls right in the middle. This is a 5-seater vehicle, so if you have someone in the middle seat, they're going to have to deal with this in their lap. And this model even has all these sunshades, which are adjustable. They quickly go up and down, so you can get a little bit more privacy when you're in the back seats. And then over in the AMG, the backseat room is about the same. This is a sedan, so it's going to have a little bit more headroom than the Gran Coupe design. I have plenty of room for my feet and my legs as well. And this interior matches nicely with that exterior dark gray. Gives it a really cool two-tone design. So obviously both of these models can be spec'd as you would like them. And then this is a 5-seater too. We do not have that center stack, but we also don't have as many controls as the M8. The M8 even had heated seats, which was a plus over this AMG. But they both had the center armrest with a little bit of storage and the 40-20-40 split. So that way you could put through any items that you have or fold all the seats down. Like I mentioned earlier, plenty of room for both of these vehicles. And then moving on to the front seats for the M8, they have a really nice sport bucket design to them with the M8 badge. These are heated seats too with a really nice two-tone design. And they are all automatic with the exception of the manual adjustment for the forward section of the seat. Over on the AMG, this has a really nice design too. Everything is embroidered on the AMG. Really nice design for this model with the AMG badge, which is right in the middle. Everything is automatic for these seats, and those adjustments are over on the door panel, where you'll also notice the heated and ventilated seat controls, which is a great touch. Coming back to the gauge cluster now for the M8 Competition, it has a really nice digital gauge cluster, not too configurable, but there's all the information that you need. Right in that tack there, you can go through some information, look at all of your vitals. You can even have the navigation pulled up right in the middle if you'd like to. So it's quick and easy to go through all of that info. Over on the Mercedes, we have a lot more settings to go through. Now, BMW is known for being a little bit more sporty. Mercedes Benz is going to be a little bit more luxurious. So we have a lot of different settings to go through and configure this just depending on what you'd like to see. Basically, this has 3 separate gauge clusters, so you can configure the left side, the center, and the right side, and go through a ton of information. Moving to the center infotainment system now, the BMW has a really nice screen. There's a lot of information to go through. It's a touchscreen system, or you can use some controls that are located down by the shifter. And just like the digital gauge cluster, not too configurable, but again, it gives you all the information you need. You can go to your M menu, you can look at your sport displays, so that way you can pull up all this information when you're on some back mountain roads or something like that. You can go through your M1 and your M2, which are configurable buttons, to have this set up as needed. And like I mentioned earlier with the camera system, you have the 360 camera view just to give you a lot more visibility in parking lot situations. And then going back to the Mercedes Benz now, that center screen is just like the gauge cluster. You can go through a little bit more information, but honestly, the center gauge cluster and the infotainment system are almost exactly the same with the amount of information to go through, and there's a few physical buttons down below that you can use. There's also a trackpad that you can use too. It's a touchscreen system, of course. And like I mentioned with the BMW, this has a full 3D camera system as well, just to help you in those slow speed situations and provide a lot of visibility. So now it's time to get both of these out on the road. The M8 Competition is meant for performance. So I have it in the M mode. We have it over into Sport Plus, the M2 button here for all of that. And being a brand new vehicle, there's only so much I can do. If you want to see us driving a lot more spiritedly in the mountains, I'll have all of our M4 competition videos down in the description below. I would assume this is going to handle very similar, even though it's stretched more for the Gran Coupe. It only weighs about 100 pounds or so more than the M8 Coupe that I was just in. So the handling characteristics shouldn't be that much different. Now I'm saying that not being on some twisty roads, but we do have some turns where we can check out that handling. So here's a right. And very, very solid around that turn. We have a few more that we can get on. But yeah, so if you want a sporty sedan that has all that, this is a great option. And I currently have the transmission in the quickest shifting mode. I'm not sure why you would want to tone it down to the slowest transmission setting, but if we put it in the slowest one, there's obviously a delay. And there it goes. So I'm not sure why that is there. You can even adjust that in the regular mode. So if you're just driving it without using the paddles, you can adjust how quickly you want it to shift on its own, which is kind of cool, I guess, just depending on how you like to drive this. But it's cool that we still get those pops. And I think it looks really great. I love the exterior, especially being finished off in this color. Just gives it that sinister, aggressive look. I love dark matte colors, and it works well on the AMG here, especially when you combine it with this interior. I love the color of these seats, and we have very premium materials all around. Everything is finished off in wood or brushed aluminum or the leather, and it just has a really nice upscale look. I can quickly turn on this dial here to put everything into sport or race mode, and then if I look down, I can pop it into the manual setting as well, and we can downshift into second gear. Wow, even coming around a turn here at a normal rate of speed, this handles incredibly well, and it sounds good. Even having it in the race mode there, you can hear the pops in that exhaust. Wow, this definitely has plenty of power. Combined with that all-wheel drive system, this is just incredible to drive. It has that AMG performance that you are expecting from a vehicle like this. So you can put your whole family in here. You can take this out on some back mountain roads if you wanted to and just enjoy it. It's a great daily driver because it's comfortable. It's very well insulated on the interior as well. Downshift. Wow. It's very well planted. We have great bolstering support for these seats too. Very comfortable seats at the same time. And one last acceleration for today. It is so smooth in those upshifts. And now coming back from the test drives for the BMW M8 Competition Gran Coupe and the Mercedes Benz AMG E63S. Both of these were very phenomenal to drive. I'm a big fan of large sedans like that, but they can also handle their weight well. They have a lot of performance. So if you're looking for a little bit more practicality, you need that space. Maybe you have a family, you have a lot of people that are always in your car. You need that backseat room, but you don't want to sacrifice not being able to have that sports car feel in your sedan. These are two great options. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, they can be very similarly priced, just depending on your budget, what you like, which brand you like too. For me, I personally like BMW over Mercedes, and the only reason that I say that is because BMW to me is a lot more sporty feeling, Mercedes Benz is more on the luxury side, but they do have some really nice performance-oriented vehicles like this AMG in today's video. But Mercedes Benz has a lot of technology, so if you're a tech person and you like the large screens, all of the lighting, all of the configurabilities that you can go through, that would be the one to choose. If you want to be a little bit more subtle with the technology, the BMW has everything that you need without being too configurable, because let's face it, once you hop in the Mercedes, you're going to set everything the way you like to, and you're really not going to adjust it any further from there. But they're both great, just depends on your preference and what you want. They are so incredibly sporty out on the roads, handle incredibly well. They're not too loud for a daily driver. Obviously, you could change that if needed. But like I said, they are both awesome to drive. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know down below which one you would choose and why. I would go with the BMW M8. I'm a little bit more of a fan of the BMWs, but they're both awesome, both fun to drive, and very practical for a daily driver. But I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give it a huge thumbs up. Consider smashing that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.